good?
Oh man, I've been trying this whole fitness thing and it just isn't working out.
I mean, you could always talk to me for help, you know this, right?
You? For help? What the f do you possibly know that I don't?
That's a good question.
Alright, what's going on guys? My name is Kevin and today we're going to talk about how to start your own fitness journey. But before we get into that, I just want to show you guys one clip and say one thing before we get started. I just want to tell you guys that I'm going to try to make this video as simple as possible because fitness can go super in-depth. There's many different branches and there's many things to worry about, but I'm just going to give you guys the most simple things and the most important things to worry about just so you guys can get started. Alright guys, so first things first, you gotta know what a calorie is. So a calorie is just a unit of energy that we get from foods we eat. And calories are made up of 3 specific macros. And macros you can just think of as 3 different branches of calories. So there's protein, which is 4 calories per gram. There's fat, which is 9 calories per gram. And there's carbs, or carbohydrates, which is also 4 calories per gram. So now that you know about that, you need to track your calories and see how much you're eating daily. Now, if you don't want to take lifting and dieting and all that stuff too serious, you don't have to track and you can just kind of go based off of weight loss or weight gain and how that works. But if you guys do want to track, I would recommend using MyFitnessPal. Now, to get an idea of how many calories you should be eating, just use an online calculator. There's like 5 million of them out there. Just put in your information like your age, your weight, how tall you are, and all that kind of stuff, and it'll give you calories to eat. Now, after you have your calories, just track for about 2 to 4 weeks and just see what happens to your weight. See if your weight goes up, if your weight goes down, or if it stabilizes. Now, if your weight stabilizes, this is how you know that you found your maintenance calories, aka your weight isn't going up or down. After this, you just need to choose a goal, whether you want to cut, aka focus on losing fat, or if you want to bulk, aka focus on gaining muscle. Now, if you guys decide that you want to cut, I would say a general rule is about a 500 calorie deficit or less. So you probably want a calorie deficit of about 300 to 500 because going over 500 is only going to lead to your demise. And when I say a 500 calorie deficit, I mean 500 calories less than the maintenance calories that you calculated previously. Now, if you guys want to bulk, I would recommend a 150 to a 300 calorie surplus depending on stuff like your training experience, your age, and that kind of stuff. But like I said, I don't want to make this too complicated, so just decide on how much of a surplus you want to be on based on your needs and your goals. And obviously when I say calorie surplus, I mean calories above your maintenance calories that you calculated previously. Additionally, if you guys are cutting, if you're wondering how long to cut for, I would say just go until you feel like you look your best while also feeling okay, because once you start to feel like that's how you know it's time to stop cutting and it's time to start bulking. Now, if you guys are wondering how long to bulk for, I would say at least you should bulk for 6 months minimum just so you can actually get some progress, because it's a lot easier to lose fat than it is to gain muscle. You probably don't want to go over 20% body fat, so if you see that you're reaching that level of body fat, it's probably time to cut again. And the whole point of this whole cutting and bulking thing is basically you just cut your fat and then bulk and gain muscle. Cut your fat and then bulk and gain muscle, and you keep doing this until you reach your ideal physique. And if you stall or you see your weight is starting to maintain, it's as simple as cutting calories if you're cutting and upping your calories if you're bulking. When transitioning from cutting to bulking or bulking to cutting, I would recommend going to maintenance for 1 to 2 weeks just so your body can get used to those calories, and then cut from bulking or bulk from cutting. Now, I know all you guys have heard, cardio kills gains, but that really isn't true. I would recommend doing cardio 2 to 3 times per week, whether you're cutting or bulking, just for the health benefits and to make sure you're getting some steps in during your week. Oh, and I forgot to mention this is probably the most important part, but in terms of how much protein, how much carbs, and how much fats you guys should eat if you're gonna count your macros, I would say you should eat at about 1 gram per body weight of protein and pick between 20 to 30% to eat for fats, and then the rest just throw it all into carbs for the rest of your calories. And like I showed you guys in the first clip of the video, please be flexible. Don't take this too seriously. Your life doesn't depend on it. Your family is not going to think you're a failure if you fail or if you can't keep your diet going. Just go at your own pace and however you're happy. And in terms of vitamin needs, just try to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, and that should cover most of your micronutrient needs. If you guys want, you can take a multivitamin, and this could just act as an insurance to whatever you're eating in your diet. Okay, so that was basically everything in terms of the nutrition side of fitness. Like I said, I don't want to make it too complicated, and I know I probably already did make it too complicated, but just take what I say and try to make the best out of it. And obviously, if you guys don't trust me or if you think I'm saying something wrong, you guys can obviously do your own research. I'm just saying based off of what I've experienced and the stuff that I've researched, this is what I found to work the best and as simply as possible. Alright, now moving on to training. So you guys need to pick a split. That's the first thing you need to do. So there's many splits you can take. You can do a full body split, you can do an upper lower split, you can do a pull push leg split. The only thing I would say you shouldn't do is a bro split. So don't do shoulders on one day, don't do arms on one day, don't do abs on one day, don't do anything like that. Try to combine them and make them into anywhere between 3 to 5 days of working out per week. Now if you guys are wondering what split I currently do a pull push leg split. So not a push pull legs, a pull push legs. And I'll get into the details of that in a different video because that's just a different topic for a different video. And I'll also make a different video on the gym equipment that I use and the supplements that I use to supplement my diet. Now you guys can do your own research on what a workout split means, but basically full body is you just do everything from head to toe. An upper lower split means you do 1 day upper body, 1 day lower body, 1 day upper body, 1 day lower body. And there's 4 day upper lower splits, there's even 5 day upper lower splits. Now in terms of push pull legs, I mean it's pretty self-explanatory. You have a push day, which is chest, shoulders, abs, triceps, which is what I usually do, but you don't have to incorporate all that into the day if you don't want to. There's also pull, which is just every pulling exercise, so rows, deadlifts, lat pull down, stuff like that. It's basically a back day, so anything back related, like your middle back, your lower back, your upper back, your traps, your lats. This also includes biceps, and in my case, I even train my forearms too. And then legs is pretty obvious too. You just train your quads, your hamstrings, your abductor, adductor, you know, whatever you want, just train your legs. Now, once you have your split picked out, whether you're bulking or cutting, you should definitely try to focus on progressive overload, aka, you know, doing slower reps or increasing your weight, just basically making your life harder at the gym in order to help your muscles grow. Now I say life harder like it's a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing. You need your life at the gym to be harder, so it always seems like you're making progress, hence progressive overload. And yeah guys, that's pretty much gonna do it for this video. Now like I said, I wanted to make this as simple as possible. Fitness can go super deep. There's stuff like nutrient timing, there's stuff like refeeds, there's stuff like high carb days, and a bunch of other stuff. But I don't want to get into the advanced stuff. I just want to show you guys how to get started, just so you can get on the right path. And most importantly, just remember that fitness is not a sprint, it's a marathon, okay? So you're supposed to enjoy the progress leading up to the result. And always make sure you're having fun, because remember, no one's putting a gun to your head saying you have to eat this, you have to eat that, you have to live like this, you have to live like that. Everything you do is your choice, so just have fun with it and get them gains, baby.